All right, this is a weird one for me to start. I wanted to do it with you so that it doesn't just come across as complaining, right? Because we can actually talk about this. I feel like you are a more civil voice of reason.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, whereas I just kind of throw things out there. I see if it hits, people get offended. I skim over it and I move on. I feel like you are the counterweight here.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of you to say.
And I wanted to talk about how I'm not a Batman Arkham channel at all. And I'm kind of tired of people thinking I am. Now, I don't know how to phrase this, so you will have to help me as we talk about this. But when we made the channel, because you helped me make it originally, T, and Nate was in little bits, and then more recently in the last year, he actually came on and has been in it a lot. When we made the channel, what was the purpose of why we made the channel? Was it to be a one-pony show? You know what I mean? Like, do one thing specifically and only that?
No, when we started, it was originally, we're going to talk about, originally it was like Funko reviews, we were going to talk about comics, and it was mostly just, let's play games that we want to play and talk about movies and news and stuff that we like. It was never anything in specific. It was mostly just like, oh, what interested us that day? Let's talk about it and put it on the channel.
And I would say I've tried to retain that. I mean, I know we've gone like very heavily into superhero stuff. And you pointed out there was a few weeks where we did mostly Arkham stuff. A few weeks. But not like months and months or anything like that either. It was a focus. And it still is a focus. But it's not all that we've ever done. And I do want to point out the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I am not entitled to people watching non-Arkham videos. I don't think that. For example, I'm interested in certain things, right? PewDiePie is one of my favorite creators. If he puts out a video, a lot of times I watch it because I know, I find Felix funny. I'm going to enjoy this because I like him. But there's certain things he puts out where I'm like, I'm not really that interested or I don't have time. I don't watch it. That's how YouTube works. That's fine. I'm not complaining about that. I don't care. But it's more like this attitude I've seen a little bit of like, even on my non-Arkham videos, like all these suggestions for an Arkham video or like go back to Arkham or why aren't you doing this? Or Jay, I'm trying to do you a favor. You really should stick to Arkham. And I'm ad-libbing these. I'm not throwing specific people under the bus because I think that's kind of petty, which I've done in the past.
Right.
But it's just frustrating, man, because like I don't want to just do that. I don't want that to go away either. Like I don't want to say like, you know what, screw it, I'm done with Arkham because I'm tired of hearing about it. Even though I've felt that way a few times. I don't want to do that, but I am never interested in just doing one thing specifically, like Spider-Man PS4. I'm not interested in being a Spider-Man PS4 channel. I'm interested in talking about it with a multitude of other things because I like them all.
Yeah, and I think it's hard because the channel really started to grow when you started doing that few weeks of Arkham content that we were really enjoying making too because we had never really done it. It was like a bunch of top fives. It was really our first top fives about the games and what we liked about them and everything like that. And that's when the channel really started to blow up a little bit. And so it's hard to, like when we push that, I get part of it with your audience and that's what that was where a big chunk of them came from and for. But also, the channel has been, like you said, it's kind of been what it is for the entire time. Like, you kind of just talk about what you like. And it's not necessarily Arkham. You love Arkham, but you also talk about other things that you like. And it's not just going to be Arkham for you.
Right. And it never has been, like, fully that.
No.
I don't know. I mean, it's a complicated thing to talk about, too, because I don't fully know where to take this conversation. I do want to talk about this for a little bit, so that it's expanded upon and not just one thing. But I don't do this channel for money. And people are going to say, well, you have a Patreon, you clearly do. It is one of my jobs because welcome to capitalistic society. If you want me to spend a bunch of time on this, which clearly people enjoy, right? Because they watch the channel. I need to make money off it to live. That's just how it works. But it's not like I want to be a millionaire. I don't care to be that. In fact, I feel like that would make me a target for stuff. I'd rather just be like, in this weird sweet spot where I make enough money to get by, buy a few nice things that I like, and that's it. And I live in a middle, lower class home or apartment. That's it. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm not shooting to be the next big LA YouTuber. I'm just not. And if I was, I could really capitalize on Arkham and just do that. I really could. But it starts to get pretty boring for me and for you. Like if we're hitting the point where I'm like top 5 best haircuts in the Arkham series, what are we doing here? Do you really want to watch that? Like that just because it says Batman or Arkham in the title, is that a good video? It's not. It's clearly me phoning it in and not caring.
Well, yeah, and that doesn't mean that you're not trying to like accommodate the subscribers, and that you don't really appreciate your subscribers, and you're not trying to make content for them
insanely.
Because you obviously you do, and that's like a giant priority. It's just that you also want to not get tired of making the content, so that eventually you get burnt out and you're not making any content at all.
Right, because if it hit the point where I hated doing this, honestly, my personal happiness matters more to me than the content. I know for some YouTubers, they'll just go, oh, money, and their personal happiness doesn't matter, and they just go for the money, and even if they hate the content, they'll keep doing it. I'm not that guy, dude. I would go back to another job and quit YouTube before I became that guy, because that guy is boring to me and soulless. Like, that's heartless to just, like, go for, like, only what makes you money. Like, that's just a bad attitude, in my opinion. Don't you think? Like, if that's your only priority in your creative ventures.
Well, I think, and yes, absolutely I do. And I think eventually, too, it would get to a point where that would show in your content, where you would be making a top 5 haircuts in Arkham. Like, that would eventually happen. And that's not where you want to be with yourself personally or with the channel. And I think it's hard because you do, like, money is a thing, and you do want that too. And that's why I think why you want people to check out your other stuff. But also, like, you're enjoying making whatever content you make. So I think you're happy as long as you're making whatever you want to make.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to like note, is that if you're working on things that you want to work on, and even if it's not Arkham, I think you're fine by that. You just don't want it to be like a toxic place in the comments where it's like, you should only be doing Arkham. What are you doing?
Right. Or like this attitude where it's like, nothing else I do matters. Because I got to be honest, like, I'm not saying this for attention because, dude, when my dad died and I brought up depression, there were people saying I said it for attention. Which, by the way, that's why I don't open up on the channel all the time. Because I don't want to open myself up to that. And also, I can take it, dude. I was bullied throughout, like, middle school and high school. Like, and kind of became a little bit of a bully in high school, partially because of that towards some people, which is not an excuse. But I'm saying, like, I've heard every insult in the book. You know what I mean? It's not like the words hurt my feelings. It's just that, like, at that point, I feel like I'm opening myself up to unnecessary criticism that distracts from the content, which to me is the point. Is, like, not that you like me. If you don't like me, that's fine. I don't always like me. But, like, it's that you enjoy what I make because, like, I'm trying to entertain people and make things that entertain people and that I enjoy and that I can look at and say, I'm proud of that. I'm glad I spent the time on that. That's going to be online forever or until Daddy YouTube spanks me into oblivion. And I'm happy with that.
I would watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Rule 34, Degenerate J, Daddy YouTube. You know, it's going to be a thing.
Neato.
But I have had depression issues with YouTube in terms of, like, putting 7 hours into a video. I'm like, this is my best video I've made in the last year. I love it. 2,000 views. Boy, this Arkham video I feel like could have been better. I hope people like it. 40,000 views just because it says Batman.
I think that's a really hard thing about YouTube too. That maybe not everyone knows is that it's hard when the amount of effort that you put into a video doesn't always show. Like, you can't always tell that you put 7 hours into something.
No. Someone could look at a top 5 and think, oh, he spent 30 minutes on this.
Right.
They don't know what it is because they're not a video editor.
Right.
And that's fine. I don't expect you to be.
But that's a challenging thing about it too. Is like there are definitely ups and downs with a career like this. You know, it's tough. That's a very challenging thing.
Well, yeah, and it's certainly, I don't want it to be like, hey, if you don't watch my stuff, I'm going to feel bad for myself. Because that's not the point. My point is, like, imagine that you went to work every day. Or you did, even if you don't want it to be work, because some people get really triggered about thinking about YouTube as a job still in 2020. I don't know how, but they do. It's a real boomer attitude, but it exists. Imagine you're doing something you love every day, and 4 days out of 5 days doing it, people tell you, like, that's fine, or they ignore you doing it. And then the 5th day they say, hey, great job, dude, great job. Hey, you're doing great. And then the other 4 days they ignore you. That feels bad. It's not about the view count, and it's not about the attention. It's about feeling like you put in all this effort to something and no one cares. You know, that's what it is. And I think that a problem with this, too, is this weird... PewDiePie has talked about this before, too, by the way. That there's a weird disconnect between creators and people who watch their stuff. So like creators start to think of the people that watch their stuff kind of as their friend in a way. Like, oh, these are my friends. They love me and what I do. But a lot of these creators, as soon as something bad happens, like, there's some kind of controversy or something like that, they're under the bus because it's human nature to want to, I mean, it's like what Green Goblin says, to want to see a hero fail, fall, die trying, like the underdog story. Someone crashes and burns, you see them build themselves back up. It was the same thing with PewDiePie. He says a bad word, I'm not defending it, but a huge portion of his audience was willing to just annihilate him for that. Another huge portion was willing to stick up for him. But a lot of people were never loyal to him. They were along for the ride. And as a creator, you start to think these people are loyal to me. And it starts to kind of get in your head a little bit. And then as someone watching content, you start to think, oh, this content creator is always there for me whenever I turn it on. It's like they're my friend because I get to hear them and stuff like that. And so when you say something point blank as someone watching things as well, you don't understand where it does or doesn't hit. Maybe you come off like a douchebag and you think you're being nice. Maybe you come off really nice and you're trying to be not sincere and sarcastic. It's over text, so you don't know. But this weird disconnect between audience and creator is something that I don't know how people overcome. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have a private life that you won't know about. And there will be a lot of elements to it you will, because I'm not that private of a person,
Yeah, well, and this is something that you just started recently having to deal with the channel blowing up. Because we had the channel, I think, it's been on YouTube for 4 or 5 years?
And I think 5.
And we were hovering around 200-300 subscribers for the longest time. And it was like a video would get over 800 views and we were super excited about it. So, and that wasn't, I don't think you felt it nearly as much because the stakes were so much lower.
Yeah.
But now that the stakes are higher and there's obviously a substantial growth in the channel, which is awesome. It's because you put a lot of work into the channel and like obviously it shows and you have some awesome subscribers, but it's
that's the thing though, dude. These people are awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have any kind of animosity to, like, if all you're interested in is Batman and that's what you want to watch, fine. I do think you should probably get some new interests as a person too, and that's not an insult, but that's because, like, as someone who was obsessed with Spider-Man for a decade and didn't care about anything else a lot of the times, it's like you're missing out on other fun stuff. But you don't have to get that from me. If you don't want to watch videos that aren't Batman, that's fine. I still appreciate you. I don't want you to just like bail and be like, well, this guy's not grateful. I am. But the point is to say that, like, when people say like, hey man, you're doing a great job, keep it up and like all this stuff, or like, why don't you just go back to this? It does every once in a while get annoying. And I'm tired of pretending it doesn't. Just to be like, to save
face. That was a good
face.
Joker line, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? Because like I could say like, oh, whatever, and I could totally cash in on Arkham content and not give a crap. And if that's what you want me to be, I could be that. I'm not going to, but I could. Or I could just say, you know what, screw these people. I don't care what they think, and I don't want to be that person either because I do care what the subscribers think. So it's a weird balancing act for me of like, I want to make people happy. That's why I do this, really. There are other jobs I can make a lot more money on. Honestly, I could have made more money teaching, and teaching sucks. Yeah. Like, I was going to do that. I had a degree in that.
You went to school for it, yeah.
But I lost my passion for it. And this is something I've been passionate about. And I was like, you know what? It makes a third or half of the money in a year. Whatever. I don't care. I like it. It's fine. It's fun. I don't know where to take this now. I feel like I'm rambling. Do you have anything to add here or any questions to ask me or anything I didn't explain? Maybe I did a terrible job on something.
No, I don't think. I think it's important that you don't to say. I guess that you're not coming at this in a like aggressive way.
No.
It's more so of you just like, in I guess more of an accusatory way. It's more so of you just saying like, hey, this is some of the vibes I've been getting, and it's more of just a clarification of what the channel is and what you want to keep doing with the channel. So it's I think important for everyone to know that it's not like a, hey, how dare you guys not watch my other stuff? It's
no, absolutely not.
I also work hard on this stuff. It'd be cool if you check it out. But if you don't, that's totally fine. But it's not going to be the only thing on the channel. So
right, it's not going to go away just because if you're not interested in the Star Wars content, it's not leaving.
And it wouldn't be true to who you are. So it's important, I think, that you keep doing what you want to do. And it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from a toxic
No,
place.
I'm really mad. I hate every single... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's not. And that's why I actually wanted you here to talk about it, because these things are hard to convey any sort of consistent tone on that's not either coming off as like, oh, this guy's not grateful. You know, he doesn't care that I enjoy his stuff. You know, I'm gonna unsub. Which, frankly, if the tone of this makes you want to unsub, you can. Like, that's fine. I'm not gonna stop you or like hunt you down, figure out your ISP address and come knocking. Why aren't you sub to me? But it's just to say like, hey man, you know what? You like what you like. I like what I like. I'm gonna do me. You know, I'm gonna do my stuff. I really hope you enjoy it, but if we hit a point in a year where the channel's getting 300 views on each video because I didn't cash in on one thing, then I go back to uploading once a week and I get a different job. That's just what it is. Because like, I'm not going to compromise what I like and what I believe in to just jump on views and view chasing. And I've seen a lot of YouTubers do that. And maybe that works for them and maybe they feel fine about it. And I don't like name dropping or coming at anybody. That's fine if that works for you. But I'm not that guy, you know? I never will be. So, I don't know. That's all I got, really. Thank you for talking to me about it.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm sure you will. I hope it's at least... I hope this didn't come across really douchey, because that's never the point. I am grateful for every single person who checks out any of my videos, who subs, who talks to me on Twitter, says an encouraging thing once in a while. As someone who does deal with like depression issues and stuff like that, I have a lot of people even reach out to me asking me questions about how to deal with stuff, which is impossible. I'm not a mental health expert. I can tell you what I've done. But like, people put a lot of faith in me that I don't fully know if I'm ready to handle or if anyone is. And it's been nuts. You know, even if it cut off tomorrow, it's been a crazy ride. So yeah. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.